Rick here at Solutions Fitness in Exeter. Listen, what I wanted to do today was actually show you guys some great exercises for your biceps as well as your triceps. So we're going to begin with the bicep, which is pretty much the muscle in the front of your arm. We use them a lot whenever we're picking something up and bringing it in this way or what have you, or carrying groceries. Obviously, you're using your arm muscles and certainly the biceps. So a great exercise for beginners or anyone that's doing any sort of muscle toning, strength conditioning would be a bicep dumbbell curl. So I'm going to pick up a couple dumbbells here. The thing you want to remember whenever you're using dumbbells or what have you for weights, it's not so critical that you're lifting a heavy weight as much as it is that you're really executing the exercise with a full form, full range of motion. So to begin, what you could do is you're going to hold the dumbbells directly to your side as I am here, demonstrating, and then you're going to bring them up towards your shoulder and just return them to the starting position. Oftentimes in a gym or a club, you'll see a lot of people, and I'm going to go to the side just so you can see this, they'll do a bicep curl and it sort of looks like this, and they're sort of lifting really heavy, crazy weight. Well, if you notice, what they're doing is they're really not going down for that full extension, letting the arm go down straight. So whenever you're doing any sort of exercise whatsoever, and specifically with biceps or triceps, you really want your arm in that relaxed state to begin, and then you're coming all the way up to the top to finish, and then back to the starting position. So oftentimes people will say to me, well, how many reps or what have you should I try to focus on doing? I tell most people if you're just starting out, your rep range should be anywhere from 15 to 20 repetitions. And if you're more advanced, you're looking to put on some muscle mass and stuff like that, you can skirt those numbers down to anywhere from about 8 to 12. What you want to keep in mind is the higher the repetitions, the more focus and attention you're paying to the connective tissue, so the tendons, the ligaments, all the stuff that really keeps the muscle primed and optimal, if you will. If you stay in the low range and you don't do any of the high repetitions, ultimately what you end up doing is you tear your bicep or whatever muscle it is you're training because you're not working that full range of motion as I'm demonstrating here. So all the way down, all the way back up. So that's a pretty simple dumbbell bicep curl. It looks like this. As you all know, something I'm a real big fan of is putting a stretch immediately following whatever muscle group you're doing. So stretch for the bicep, you're just going to extend your arm straight like this, grab your palm, pull it back in this fashion. So what you're going to do is basically feel this stretch here in the bicep, the muscle you just worked. Hold that stretch for about 20-30 seconds, and then you just go ahead and relax the stretch the other arm immediately afterwards. So that would be one bicep exercise. Basically, it was just that dumbbell curl. You had them here like you were holding a hammer or swinging a hammer, and then you're just rotating them back up to the starting position. Okay, so what I'd like to do is actually show you guys another bicep exercise. But for this exercise, actually, I'm going to need to be seated instead of standing. So the last exercise I just did, it was a standing dumbbell curl. You can also do a seated dumbbell curl, okay? If you remember from the first exercise that I showed you, I actually had you guys hold the dumbbell in this fashion, and you were twisting it up, or basically rotating the dumbbell. For this seated dumbbell curl, you're basically going to keep the dumbbell straight forward to your side like this, come all the way up, and then back down. Keep in mind, just as I said to you with the first exercise for the bicep, you want to really do that full range of motion, so you're going all the way down to your arms straight and then back up towards the shoulders. Oftentimes people, when they're training their biceps, they'll start to rock. So they'll do something like this and pretty much sway their dumbbells, their elbows, forward and back. So what they're doing is they're actually employing more momentum than they are actually bicep muscle. So you want to keep in mind the fact that you really want to keep your upper arm stationary to your side. So basically everything from here to here stays to your side, and then all you're doing is raising the dumbbell from that starting position here to the top of your shoulder. So again, rep range, 15, 20 reps, beautiful for those of us that are just trying to maintain our body mass, and maintain some muscle definition too. Higher reps, great for all the connective tissue. Immediately following the exercise, once again, you're just going to go ahead and stretch your biceps. So you want to be just as mindful about stretching as you do strengthening. So next up, what I'd like to do is just show two simple exercises for triceps, and then basically that'll be a wrap. So next body part I want to actually discuss is actually tricep, or the back of the arm here. So it's a focal point for a lot of females out there, especially as they get older. They'll pick their arm up or what have you, and they have some saggy sort of skin here. So they sort of zoom in on that. Guys as well, but not so much with us males as it is with the females. So a great exercise that will help to condition or tone your tricep is actually a tricep pushdown with a rope. So you'll go into a lot of fitness centers and clubs or what have you. We have it here at Solutions. Basically what you do is you're going to use the rope. You're going to come up towards the machine, if you will, or the cable. Have your elbows directly to your side as I'm demonstrating here, and then you're pushing the rope all the way down so your arms are straight, and then letting the rope actually come back to the starting position. So once again, you want to maintain that full range of motion. So all the way up and then down without letting your elbows leave your side. In doing that, that's how you're really utilizing the greatest portion of your tricep that you can. All right? Oftentimes, again, just like with the biceps, you'll see people at the gym and they're doing crazy heavy weight and they're sort of doing something like this where it's this very small range of motion. And what's happening is they're not really working that full tricep muscle because they're not going all the way up from the start to the bottom. So you really want to work the attachment of the muscle just like the belly of the muscle. And that's where doing that full range of motion actually does that, okay? So just as with biceps, you immediately following doing the exercise, you're going to want to stretch out your tricep at the back of your arm. Great stretch for that is basically you're just putting your arm to your side of your head like this. You're going to grab your elbow and just basically feel that stretch through the side of your arm here, okay? You're going to hold the stretch for about 20-30 seconds, and then you'll just immediately go ahead and stretch the other arm. Again, I can't overemphasize the importance of stretching while you're doing any sort of strength training whatsoever. It really helps to keep the body flexible and increases your range of motion just for functional day-to-day living and stuff like that. So second exercise I want to go over is actually a tricep pushdown with a bar. So obviously the rope was set up here to begin with. All you're going to do is basically change it out and put on any sort of a straight bar or something that looks like this. Oftentimes they may not have a bend. That doesn't matter so much. You're just looking for a bar that's rigid, that doesn't give you that range of motion that the rope basically gave you with the first exercise. So just like the rope when I was doing this exercise, here too you really want to maintain that full range of motion. So you're going to just go up to the unit just as you were with the rope. You're going to start with the bar as high as it can go without displacing your elbows from your side, and then you're pushing all the way down towards your torso and coming back up to that starting position. Really maintain that full range of motion while you're doing the exercise. A lot of people will say to me, should I keep my knees bent or my legs straight or anything like that? Does it matter? I tell them, do whatever feels comfortable. It really isn't going to matter whether your knees have a slight bend or whether your legs are straight. It's really a matter of what allows you to maintain that form throughout however many repetitions that you're trying to employ. So once again, you want to come all the way up with the bar and then push all the way down so you're getting that full range of motion, paying attention to the connective tissue as well as the muscle of the belly of the muscle, if you will. And just as with the rope, once again, immediately following your set, you're going to go ahead, stretch your triceps once again, all right, both arms. Really do not miss the opportunity to keep your body flexible while you're training and trying to make your muscle, perhaps larger or more defined or anything like that, because if you're doing the exercise without the stretching, ultimately all you're going to do is injure yourself. So I want to say thank you for taking this time to check this out. Look forward to you checking out some of the other videos we post. Thanks a lot.